Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 9 medium tank, the Leopard PTA. Now the Leopard PTA is a tank that leads to another tank that is pretty damn awesome in the Leopard one. And the Leopard PTA is a pretty decent tank in itself. It's one that pre 6.0 I didn't like all that much, and that's because while it had an accurate gun on paper, it loved to miss shots for me, and it was really irritating. But post 6.0, that's just not an issue. The gun is absolutely fabulous, as is most guns, and the reload's just that little bit better as well. It's a tank that you're not really supposed to play that aggressively. You know, it's more like a support medium, because obviously it has absolutely no armour, and the one thing that this tank loves is getting ammo racked. Trust me, ammo racks aren't fun in this tank. Happens a lot. So, yeah, and I just thought, you know what? I'll start playing it again, and I really had quite a lot of fun doing this tank. So, how do I set this tank up? Well, this tank I set up with rammer, camo net, and optics, because obviously the optics, I mean, it's got like 400 meters view range, or it might even be 410. It's fantastic. Buff it up as much as possible with optics, therefore you can farm a hell of a lot of assistance if you get a good map where you can go spotting on, and it's really, really nice for that. The gun performance is really good as well, so you don't actually need vert stabs at all, because like I say, the gun performance is fabulous. The rammer, obviously, just buff your DPM as much as possible, because this doesn't have the best reload in the universe, and help it out as much as you possibly can. The APCR velocity that this gets on a standard shell is also beautiful. It means you don't have to lead shells all that much. In terms of the crew, I run it a pretty standard crew setup. Well, I say this is my pretty standard crew setup for most tanks that I want to help the gun handling a little bit, but also make it a bit more stealthy. So I run Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Now, I actually run this on most mediums that have got below 300 meters still concealment if you run a camo net, because that way we can buff the camo up as much as possible. Even though I'm a very aggressive player and I play pretty much on the front lines most of the time, if you get certain maps, say like Westfield, and you want to go spotting from the bushes, or you get Proc or Mali, you know, big open maps that have a fair bit of foliage, or you don't even need that really, to be honest, and you want to be able to keep at a distance and not get spotted, it really, really helps to have that camo set up. So we're on Kasserine, and we have taken an aggressive position, as is me, and we've taken this position at G3. And honestly, this position doesn't honestly work all that often. It really depends on whether you have backup in like I do, which I have a couple of TDs sat behind me, and in that way they can poke up and get shots at people as they try to get shots at me. And the other thing is, the enemy team hasn't really pushed all that many tanks here. They've probably got about the same number of tanks as we have here. Now, what does happen on this position quite a lot is that the enemy team sends a hell of a lot of tanks here. Someone camps at E1, D1, somewhere along there on that little ridge line, and they just pepper you, and you can't quite spot them, and it doesn't work out. So it's a very, very risky position to take, but I do like risk. Risk is me, and it's worked out so far. We're up to 3.6k damage, 1700 assistance, and we're just peppering in the shots. We're trying to keep ourselves covered a little bit from people like the WZ-120 so that we're not hurting us. This Yag Tiger managed to pop a shot into us earlier on, but it's slowly but surely getting punished. Now I'm thinking, right, I kind of want to get rid of this Yag Tiger, because he's been a pain. So we get a nice shot through the back of him there. This WZ-120 is on a one shot, so we're just going to wait for the reload to go in. Then we've got the health, so even if we take a hit, it doesn't matter. Pop over. Somehow miss that shot. No, don't ask me. The game did it. Unfortunately, we eat a shot from the WZ-120, but we do finish him off. There's only 4 tanks left. There's a TD, a medium, and 2 other TDs. The medium and 2 TDs are spotted. We don't know where the other one is. And I'm thinking, right, what is it? Where could it be? You know what? It could be camping anywhere along the A line. So we're just going to go use our great view range here. and try and spot out. And maybe it's in their base. We'll have to see. But I'm thinking, right, I'll loop round their base and then head up the A line and see if we can find it. Because there's not many other places it could be, to be honest, just from the team spread. And there we go. We end up spotting the UDES. And if I'd realised quicker, I could have actually got to a position where I would have been able to spot him without getting spotted myself, because you saw we actually spotted him way before we got detected ourselves. And that's the camo net and the camo perks. But unfortunately, we didn't get to finish him off and do any more damage to him. So we finished that game with 5 kills, 5k damage, 2.4k assist. That's 7.4k combined. Ace tanker, high caliber, 1891 base XP. So yeah, the Leopard with its pretty damn nice mobility, pretty good gun, decent reload. It's not the best, like I say, 7.7 seconds. You know, you compare that to something like the CS59 that's got a 6.6 for the same alpha, and there's lots of other tanks that have a little bit lower than that at tier 9. It's not the best reload in the universe, but it's usable, and it's not exactly bad. It's all round pretty nice tank. You've just got to beware with the Leopards, by the way. Well, I can't really remember if it's a thing with the Leopard 1, but it's definitely a thing with a PTA. If you're aiming over the back of the tank, you lose gun depression, because there's actually a little lip behind the turret that the gun ends up elevating off. It can be a bit of a pain, so just be aware of that. You've just seen it there when we poked around. But yeah, the Leopard 1, tier 10, basically takes this tank and makes it better. And that is really nice. The gun's fabulous. Gun's always been fabulous. I loved it pre 6.0 and post 6.0. It's just even better because you hit shots on the move all the time. The DPM on it's really nice. The mobility is great. It's a big tank, but it's still it can still be quite stealthy, and that's nice. So we're on this second game run. We're on steps, and we are pushing relatively aggressively because it's encounter. We're not really spotting anything out yet that's on their side that's maybe pushed towards the hill. We get a nice shot snapped into the UDES, and then we spot this 1375, and he's just looking at us. It's like, are you going to poke out? You going to poke out again? Yeah? Thank you. We get a nice shot into him. Just being careful not to take a hit from anyone that's where this like MX AC-48 is that would possibly try and get a shot at us. Hopefully we get a shot, but no, we can't quite get a shot this guy. Oh, no, maybe we can. And we shut down the 1375. And we're just using this position to try and spot out and get a few shots at people that are camping along their ridge line, but there doesn't actually seem to be anyone really here. So we're just moving along, and really we're using the two mediums in front of us now. They're the ones that are spotting out, and if they're spotting out, we can... This is where, by the way, the camo net and the concealment perks help us, because we can stay unspotted. We can just start farming these guys that are getting lit up. Unfortunately, we get spotted there. I think that was by the light tank that's just poked up on our left. We've not noticed it. We're starting to try and receive shots in return from the said, like the UDES. The MX-30 gets shot. Again, the camo perks help us there because he's just behind some concealment. Camo net, again, this is why I'm saying that the concealment is really nice to have, because there's situations like that where he's within our detection range, but because there was a little bit of foliage between us and we had all the camo perks and stuff like that, we managed to stay undetected, and it can be really helpful for getting an extra shot or two without taking any in return. So we're looking for a shot at this AMX 5100. Unfortunately, we can't quite find it under the train tracks. We're just looking for it. There's a red section there. Unfortunately, we hit the train in front of him again. And we're just going to keep this gun singing, and I'm just hoping we can find a shot through that gap. We're watching this light tank, hoping he pokes up on top of the ridge line. He does. We shut him down. We're up to 3.1k damage now and 883 assistance, which is nice, up to 1,000. Get a shot through the side of the UDES's turret, who's not paying attention to us. I want to shut down that 5100, because that 5100 decides to poke up. If I miss him or don't get a chance to get a shot at him, he's going to end up taking a lot of health from us. So we get a shot through the CDC, who makes a mistake. And we're going to move up now, because that batch at 12T looks like he's YOLOing. I want to get into a position to finish off the CDC, which we do. And we're going to go help our friends who are getting YOLO'd by this batch at 12T. He's making moves, so I'm going to pop a shot in, put him down to a one-shot. And I'm hoping to finish him off. But unfortunately for us, the CDC Black finishes him off. We were looking for a shot at the UDES. he gets unspotted, so we take a blind fire, and we actually do pen him there, blind, which is nice. I just took the blind fire, because when he got unspotted, I thought, maybe he'll think now that being unspotted is going to be completely safe and poke up again, which he wasn't, and we managed to get the shot in. We're just looking for that shot into the UDES, we can't quite find it, and then we take one on the move, and that goes in. That was dirty. That shot shouldn't have hit, but it did, so we'll take it. And now we're going to just drive into the map border because, you know, we were avoiding artillery shell. That's exactly what we were doing. We were avoiding that artillery shell. That's why we did that, yeah. Yep, see? Next level moves. So we drove around the corner, pop a shot to finish off the UDES. We already know that the GW Panther's fired. It does have a quick reload, but we know he's fired. We're loading the HE because we wanted to guarantee he killed him, but the CDC's popped a shot into him. We finish off the GW, and now we've got this 50 TP to deal with. And I do have hit points, but I don't really want to take a big slug off him because he's got 560 alpha. That would hurt, and I have had my Armour popped before by 50 TP because it's got a big 130mm gun, 560 alpha. If it hits your Armour rack, gone. And he sits there licking his lips as he goes, oh, 1700 damage. That's nice. Yeah. So we're trying to snipe some shots into his lower plate. Unfortunately, we're not quite finding it. I'm trying to move up now because I still want to advance the game a little bit. It's 4-on-4 at the minute. So the game's each way. I'm still full health, and I want to go influence the game as much as possible. So we're going to make the play. We're going to move up. Now I'm deciding, you know what, let's risk some hit points. If he pokes out enough and pops a shot at us, so be it. We've got to move up. We can't just stay sitting there scared of 150 TP. That can be how you lose games. But we poke up here, and we find that we've actually got a shot at the back of that AMX M445, which is nice. So we finish him off. And now we're going to go down and deal with this 50 TP. So I make a mistake there. We end up realising that we've not got the gun depression. We just hit the lip a little bit too much on the ridgeline. So we end up taking a hit from him. But I know my reload is so much better than his. So we shut him down. And we end up on 6.5 kills. 6.5 kills? 6.5k damage. 1700 assist. There's still 2 tanks left, so we want to go get these 2 tanks. We know exactly where they are. They've been spotted. So we're just going to drive along here and hope. Well, I say we know exactly where they both are. One hasn't been spotted in a fair while, and I'm expecting to possibly pop up somewhere on the right. But the other thing is, we're just looking for this other medium tank that was somewhere along here. Then we do get spotted by the Scorpion that was on that side. He was expecting us to drive around the other way. And I was thinking maybe the medium was still round the rocks, but actually he's there. So we're going to go chase him. The likelihood is we're going to be the ones that get him because there's no one else really here. We snap a shot into this Kampfpanzer. Try and keep him rammed around the corner. And we're just waiting for the reload. And we finish him off. And we finish that game with 1700 assistance, 7.3k damage. That's 9k combined. And we actually finished with 9 kills. I didn't know at the time that I was on 9 kills. I didn't even realise because there's nothing anywhere on the HUD to tell you that you're on so many kills. So, like I say, 9 kills, 7.3k damage, 1700 assistance. Devastator, Ace Tanker, Radley Walters for 8 kills, Top Gun, High Caliber. Just imagine if we managed to get that kill shot on that Batchat 12T or the 5100. That would have been a pools. 2.4k base XP. What a game for the Leopard PTA. Like I say, just imagine if we managed to get that shot on the Batchat 12T or the 5100, we would have had a pools medal. That would have been mental. But yeah, the PTA, it's a nice tank. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!